Welcome back to Code Seed. Today we're actually gonna go over all the update stuff, and we're gonna combine it, and we're gonna go over the new translations. So in this video we are gonna do 5-star characters. Tomorrow we are gonna do the 4 stars, and after that we are gonna do the 3 stars, and we are also trying to go over the perks, if I can see them actually. Yeah, so basically we have a battle pass, or let's call it a premium pass right now, that you should actually get. Because in China, the Battle Pass was like $10, let's say $10, €10-ish. But for us right now, it's actually $4.99. And what you can get is, let's calculate that really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's a little bit like 3,100, 3,200 coins-ish. So that's like kinda a 10 pull. And then of course the top one is free. You get like lots of seed fire, shard, chests and stuff. What's more interesting in this one though is you get Tesla's exclusive equipment for free. On level 16, 16, pretty good character by the way, we're gonna go over her in next video. Then you get a 5-star basic character pack. So basically out of these characters you can choose a 5-star, and what you should choose, if you don't actually have her, you should get Newton or Einstein, depending on who you choose or chose. In the 7-day login reward you should choose the opposite one, because Newton is such a good healer and buffer, but Einstein is also a good damage dealer. Because you are getting on level 6, you are getting Einstein's exclusive equipment. So if you get the exclusive equipment, you probably want to choose Einstein. If you have Einstein, choose the other one. You gain EXP by the way by the daily missions. I calculated a little bit, and you can get daily 900 experience, and sometimes you get some extra stuff from the weeklies. But you can calculate yourself how long it takes. The battle pass has like what is that? 31 levels, so you just calculate 900 times 31, blah blah blah. Then we have the Spark Depot right now, gives double stamina or fuel in this case. That's pretty good. We also have the Spring Marathon. You can basically support any team. Doesn't matter like who you support, but basically it's a little bit of like ranking stuff going on. I'm right now 35, and as you can see here, you get a title, you get shard packages, you get a gift chest, and you can get 2 lucky packs where you not only get coins out of, but you also can have a chance of getting this Achilles skin. That's pretty nice actually. Then we also have the cumulative consumption or something, that can get you some much needed island clearing tickets, so you can auto clear stages pretty easily, and you get some, basically a 10 pull out of these. And Da Vinci's little shop is back. That's the event shop where you can get Achilles and stuff, of course only if you saved. Bach is also a very good healer, but what I got was Achilles' exclusive equipment, because it's very hard to get onto these. So right now I have 45 left. So of course I'm probably gonna save for whatever exclusive equipment comes next, for the banner unit probably, because I did a 10 pull, got nothing, and then I did 3 single pulls and I got Achilles. So that's pretty good. I already have her on like, what is that? On level 50, yeah. And tomorrow I have her. Tomorrow I'm gonna rank her up, so she can get her second accessory and stuff. Is there anything else? Spring Flower Dance is still going on for a little bit. Oh yeah, by the way, the event, just in case you missed it. You basically use fuel, each 500 points of fuel or stamina gives you like a glow stick, and then you basically support your team with that, and that basically happens daily. So we have now from March 24 until April 1, that is like 6-7 days, you have a chance of getting some of the lucky packs. So that's pretty good. And the gift packs are always welcomed. But yeah, let's go over the characters right now. Let's go over the 5 stars first. So basically the first one we have is Einstein, a very good DPS. You can get her or Newton for free on the daily login reward on 7, or well in the battle pass if you want to. But she basically, her first skill is Atomic Wall, attacks enemy targets for 78% damage. 10% of this ability damage is oh, that's a spelling error. Einstein's passive cumulative attack, up to 100% of its own damage. Pretty much self-explanatory. The second one is Atomic Split. Attack all enemies for a total of 156% of damage, divided equally among all enemies. That's pretty nice. This spell deals 10% of its total damage as Einstein's passively accumulates up to 100% of its own damage. And then we have the Atomic Explosion. Attacks all enemies for a total of 78% damage. If the target has only one person, I guess that's like is only one person, it deals triple damage. This spell deals 10% of its total damage as Einstein passively accumulates up to 100% of its own damage. So that's pretty good. And then we also have these perks. I think this is specifically to Einstein, I'm not 100% sure, but both friendly and enemy units deal plus 2.5% damage, and these are pretty self-explanatory. The next unit is Newton, one of the best units in the game, by far. So basically her second attack does a little bit of damage and transfers one stealable buff from the enemy to one of your allies. This works also on bosses. Of course you cannot steal everything, but you can steal a lot, and sometimes I feel like sometimes they get dispelled from the enemy but you don't get them. But I think if you get them that would be pretty OP. But there's like this boss with these big claws, and he had last time like a 34 stack of bonus attack, and I just grabbed that with her. So that definitely works, and alchemy is pretty awesome on her too. I'm not sure if this perk is still bugged, but it's only the description that's bugged. But there's later like a very high chance that you get like an action slot that is consumed when you use it on her, like gets transformed to one of the neighboring slots. So that's pretty awesome. And the third skill is basically you heal all units, restoring 40% attack health and recovering 100% of the healing bonus. An equal amount of attack is increased for every 1 point of excitation, but the same amount of attack is decreased for every 1 point of excitation. So basically, to me, when I tried that in-game, it's really hard to understand a little bit, but basically what it means is the more you use that skill, the more you heal like over and over and over. Because it gives you basically like this inspiration, it's excitation it's called here, but in-game I think it's like inspire or some shit. But it basically gives you like flat attack. And it gives her like more and more and more, and since she heals more, depending on how much flat attack she has, it's pretty insane, and it gives that to the whole team. And if you get attacked, of course, the attack buff, the flat attack is gonna be removed, or if you attack, I think it's removed. I don't think it stays the whole time. I'm not 100% sure on that, but in combination with like another tank that does like shields and stuff, it's pretty amazing. But yeah, one of the best units in the game. Then we have Julius Caesar, also very good if you do like more like auto battling. You know? Basically heals the friend with the lowest health percentage, regenerate 70% of your attacks. If the percentage of life before treatment is greater than the target, increase the amount of treatment equal to the percentage of the life difference. And the ultimate is basically you get 5 stacks of Empire Light. This can stack up to 15. Adding plus 7 damage, resistance and healing per layer. So basically if you have 15 stacks, if you do this attack 3 times, you get 15 times 7% more damage resistance and healing. That's pretty good. And every time she's attacked, you get like 1 layer removed. Pretty OP if you ask me. But as I said, like very good for auto attacking. Then we have Beethoven. Attack enemy targets for 100% damage under the influence of an enhancement effect. It consumes 1 tier of the enhancement effect and deals double damage. And we have Mood Brewing. Enchant itself with 3 non-dispellable tiers of enhancement effect. It stacks up to 10. And then you have the ultimate. Attack all enemy units, deal damage and restore 25% of their health for all units. Under the influence of the enhancement effect, all the enhancement effects will be consumed, and the skill coefficient will be increased by 20% for each layer consumed. So, the more layers you have, the more you're gonna do ouch ouch, right? But yeah. Then we have Zuyu. Her S2 basically attacks all enemies, does a little bit of damage, and one enemy will get a burn, and he will lose 30% HP. Like the description is a little bit like the enemy will lose 30% of their life, but that's a little bit OP. It's wrongly worded. I think it's like 30% of her HP or attack inflicted on him and on the enemy per burn. Like 30% of it. And Scorching Torrent is first attack. She attacks 5 times in a row. Each attack deals damage to 1 random enemy. The higher the hit percentage, the more likely the enemy is to be attacked. And the second attack is attacks all opponents, inflicting 30% of damage for each hit in the first attack. The target receives 50% more damage from the second attack. So you do your ulti and you do it again, and you basically it's like a follow-up attack. And it works pretty well with this, because on level 3 you get 60% ignore target defense, like 60% of it. That's pretty darn good. Then we have Fai Hong Wang. That's pretty simple. You do attack, and if you attack again, you do 100% more damage to the same target in a row. And the ultimate is basically do damage, and if the target is still alive, you attack it twice more. So basically 3 attacks in a row. Then we have Achilles, the new unit that came out today, one of the strongest units in the game overall. I think it's like in the Chinese version the 2nd or 3rd best attacker overall, beside Nelson and some dude with a crossbow. But basically what she does is her first skill is attack enemy targets, causing 40% damage. This damage ignores target defense and all resistances and penetrates shields. And the second one is attack enemy targets, doing 60% of the damage. This damage ignores, well, everything, and increases the damage the target takes from the next Pierce Sky Strike by 15%, and it stacks up 3 times on the enemy. So basically you can do, if you attack the enemy 2 times with this, or 3 times, you get 45% more damage with this attack, the more you do it. And the ultimate is literally just like a one-shot for, like, not for bosses, yes, if you're strong enough, but also in PvP it just kills 2 people. Like, you kill one and then you attack again and kill another one, like, automatically. So basically attacks targets, causes damage, the damage ignores everything, as I said, and killing the damage deals 165% damage again to a random enemy. Plus 100% fixed damage, equivalent to an overdose of damage. If the target is alive, you gain 2 rounds of impotence, undispellable, and you take double damage. So basically, if you don't kill somebody with that ultimate, you get double damage. So be careful, and definitely take the Defy perk. Alright, Defy is pretty good, and God's Gift as well. Next one is Alexander, the one character that makes your phone lag. Because of all the like light sword action and stuff, laser action. So her S2 basically increases the damage of the highest attacking unit by 50% on the next move, and increases the number of hits per target by 1. And the S3 is attack all opponents, causing damage to both sides and blinding yourself and all targets for 2 rounds. Reducing the chance to hit by 50% while blinding, the boss is only mildly blinding, reducing his chance of success by 20%. Pretty simple. Then we have Jiang Shang, one of the best units as well in the game, because she can do her S2, can basically stun or bind an enemy. Right? So, but if you like attack again or bind somebody else, the other target is like 1 round immune to that effect. And her ultimate, like when you use her ultimate or her first attack, her S2 also gets broken down. So basically if you use her S2 and you want to keep somebody out of the game or out of the match, you don't do anything with her. Because if you do, the effect gets cancelled. Same with her ultimate. If you use her ultimate and buff your team and you single-handedly attack or you bind somebody, your ultimate gets dispelled. Basically you do, like you attack the whole enemy team, and it then has a 25% chance to trigger bonus effects that increase the damage taken by all rounds by 35%, gain 1 tier of concentration at the end of each turn, up to 5 tiers of concentration are consumed when casting a skill. Each tier consumed increases the chance of triggering additional effects by 50%. What that basically means is you do your ultimate, let's say you have 6 action slots, you do it and you get 6 stacks of focus buff. And focus buff basically gives you, what was it? I think, I think 25%. I think you get 25% on damage, healing, and resistances per focus buff. But keep in mind, if you try to use your S2 or S1 again, the S3 gets completely dispelled. So yeah, you want to keep this buff up for a couple of rounds. But it's a little bit... It's shitty to use in auto, but very good in manually, especially PvP. But also works pretty well later on against the hardcore mobs that like literally do a lot of damage. And if you can take one out, that's pretty nice, if you ask me. Oh yeah, and be careful with this skill, because this could get annoying. I mean, it removes her slots, yes, but if you use this, like, how should I say, like if you try to build up a big stack, it doesn't work because they keep disappearing. Also, sorry for no music. Then we have Napoleon. You can get her for kinda free. As a bonus when you like top up, you know, you buy something for like 99 cents and you get her a little bit more for free. Good AoE attacker. She basically ignores shields, or well, penetrates them. You do a little bit of damage and you get like something called overload, and you can stack that up to 12 times. Later it goes to 15, but right now to 12. Her S2 also marks enemy targets, deals damage to them, penetrates shields, and gives yourself an overload. If the enemy dies, you get 2 overloads. And her third skill, you consume all the overloads and you get plus 50% skill factor for each overload. Basically means you get way more damage with each overload. And like all the overwatches or overloads get dispelled. And you automatically gain 6 overloads when entering combat, non-dispellable. Depends, but there's also perks. Later on, you can't see it right now, but they give you even more. Then we have Siegfried. Basically gain 2 tiers of undispellable parry. Each layer increases your defense by 100%. The next time you are attacked, and 20% of the damage you reduce is charged to the sword body, which releases its charge when you attack, causing additional fixed damage. And the ultimate is attacks enemy targets, inflicting 170% damage and giving yourself Dragon Blood. Block 1 critical damage per tier or regenerate 8% health at the end of the battle. If the target dies, you gain an additional tier of parry. So basically what this means is you are not killable as long as you have one of this Dragon Blood stuff. I can tell you right now, if the enemy is lucky in PvP, in the auto PvP, this can get really annoying because it takes quite some time to kill her. And if you're not careful, she counters and like really hurts you in terms of damage. But yeah. Then we have Roland, pretty nice. Very good for PvP 2 in the beginning. Basically the S2 does an insane 300% damage, but if you use it again, it doesn't work, and then it works again. So basically you use 2 action slots, you attack. If you do it again, it doesn't work. You have to use your S3 again, and then you can S2 again. Because if you S2, and then again S2, that doesn't work. But if you then, the third S2 then works again, but the fourth then not, you know what I mean? So basically you always like cancel out the second one, unless you do the ultimate first. And the ultimate is like fucking weird description. But before I read it, I can only tell you it does a lot of damage and it never hits. It never misses. It always hits, kinda, right? Pretty easy, pretty strong person for PvP and everywhere else. So we have Paracelsus. With his first skill, he heals itself and another friendly unit with a low hit percentage, each returning 28% hit. Attacks all opponents, dealing 40% damage, plus drug poisoning for 2 rounds. Unit attack under drug intoxication loses 50% of its life after damage. And the ultimate, healing all friendly units, restore HP and add resistance effect equal to 100% of effective treatment amount. For every 1 point of resistance effect, 1 point of life regeneration is absorbed, and for every 1 point of loss of life, 1 point of resistance effect is reduced. I have no idea what that means, but he's a pretty interesting character. We have Hector. Basically, her S2 increases the damage and healing of your whole team by 20% for 2 rounds and gains the double bonus for self units. I think they should buff this because this is utterly bullshit. And her S3 is attack the enemy target, cause attack 100% damage, and mark the target. Each time it is attacked within 2 rounds, it will receive an additional 100% of damage from Hector's attack. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Then we have Tokugawa Yasu. Basically, her first skill is, her normal is attack enemy targets, and when you have the mask on, it says attack enemy targets doing 200% damage. If the target is alive after the attack, you gain 1 tier of vertigo. And the second one is Shuriken, attack 1 to 4 enemies at random for 150% damage, gives priority to enemies with high hit points. And the S3, when you are in normal mode, attack enemy targets causing percentage damage. Then you go into mask state. Mask status attacks all enemies dealing percentage damage, divided equally among all enemies, then return to the normal state, its own 1 tier of vertigo effect. Then we have Copernicus. Basically, her second skill increases your crit by 400 points, I think that's 40%, for 2 rounds, and after you're being attacked, the target gains 3 Gears of Chaos. Chaos is a debuff on the enemy that basically means for each stack of Chaos, the enemy has a 10% chance to skip their turn. And Solar Storm attacks all the enemies, divided equally among all enemies, and if somebody dies, you can attack again. So you can see if you build him pretty strong, you can get a lot of damage if you kill more than 1 enemy, because it bursts and bursts and bursts. Then we have the last one, that's called Sid. That's, by the way, that's a girl. Her first skill basically gives you and a random partner a little shield, and if you're still affected by the shield effects after being attacked, counter attacker deals 70% damage. Second one basically deals a little bit of damage and fixed damage equal to 20% of the shield you have. You can also combo this with other shields like the shield robot or Seimei that gives shields. Then we have the S3 that says enchant yourself with a shield of honor that absorbs 5% of your health damage and converts all shields from both sides, also every shield you have, into their own shields of honor. Enemies will attack Sid first, so it's basically a taunt. Pretty nice for PvP because taunts. We all love taunts, right? But yeah, that's it with the 5-star characters. We're gonna go over the accessories a different time. But yeah, I think that's all there is to say about that. The events, the 5-star characters. Oopsie. What I'm doing right now is I'm creating low rarity accessories to basically disassemble them and gain chips. And a little bit like parts. The parts you need to upgrade your accessories. Pretty simple. But yeah, I think if you come from the Discord, you probably know all of this. If not, well, now you know a little bit more. Or if you didn't read about all the characters, now you know a little bit more about the 5 stars. And if you're new to the game, feel free to ask anything on the YouTube video or just join the Discord. The Discord you can find when you start the game. In the login screen, there's an announcement tab in the top right, where you literally have a link to the Discord, where we are all at. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I see you guys in the next days when we do the video about the 4 stars. See you later, bye!